Hi, Glen Oak students. I'm here to talk to you today through this video about my job with the United States Air Force as an attorney. Okay, so what is the Air Force? Let me talk to you a little bit about who I work for. The United States Air Force is part of the U.S. military. The military is made up of different branches, the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, the Navy, the Coast Guard. And the Air Force flies planes. They have the flying mission um, in the U.S. military. The Air Force is over 70 years old. Over 600,000 people work for the Air Force, and there are over 5,500 aircraft that are part of the U.S. Air Force. So, what is an attorney? So, there are different names um, for attorney. Attorney. You will also hear the word lawyer that's used to describe an attorney, counselor, a barrister. And what does an attorney do? Well, an attorney helps people understand the law. What does that mean exactly? So, the law basically the rules that we follow every day, right? These are the rules that help us live in our everyday lives. So, for example, just a simple example, when you drive down the road with your parents, there are stop signs, right? That you have to stop at certain points. You can't just drive down the road without ever stopping. And there's a speed limit that you have to go by. So that's just a simple example, but there are all kinds of laws in our country that we have to follow. So because there are different kinds of laws, there are also different kinds of attorneys, right? I'm sure that you've heard of like criminal attorneys, for example, right? If you go to jail, then you can hire a criminal attorney to help you try to get you out of jail, right? Um, so that's a little bit uh, of a description of what an attorney does. So what is my job specifically? Well, I'm an attorney for the Air Force, and I work for this office called the Office of the General Counsel. And the main location for this office is at the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. And there's a little picture right there in the slide to show you what that building looks like. I'm sure you've probably seen it on TV. But I work for an office here in San Antonio that is part of that larger office. Um, so, what do I do for this office? Well, I help the Air Force reach agreements, all kinds of different agreements with other people, with other companies. So, for example, as you can see, these beautiful homes here on this slide. I have helped the Air Force over the last 10 years reach agreements or contracts with private companies that help build these beautiful homes for our military members across the Air Force on all bases across the United States. So that's an example of one thing that I have done with the Air Force. So I'll talk a little bit about how I became an attorney. Um, well, what education do you need to become an attorney? Well, you need to graduate from high school, first of all, and then you need to go to college for 4 years to get a college degree. Then once you get a college degree, you actually have to continue going to school. You have to go to law school, and law school is another 3 years. So as you can see there, I went to college at the University of Texas at El Paso and graduated in 2002, and then I graduated from law school at the University of Virginia in 2006. After law school, you get your law degree, and you still have to take one more exam, one final exam. It's called the state bar exam. So wherever you want to work as an attorney, You take this exam, and I took it in the state of Arizona over 2 days. And once you pass that exam, um, you are licensed to practice law in that state. So that's how it works. So as you can see, it's a long process. There's a lot of uh, the schooling that you need to go through, and once you finish the schooling, you take this final exam, and then you can become an attorney. So there's some pictures there of where I went to college. As you can see there on the map, where it's located, it's in El Paso, Texas. It's on far, far west Texas there, right on the border with New Mexico. The University of Virginia, there's a picture there of where I went to law school. And as you can see there on the map of the United States, it's located on the East Coast in Virginia, not too far from Washington, D.C. So, what is my advice to you as you start thinking about different careers? What should you do? Well, first of all, I'll tell you that you don't need to decide now what career you want to pursue, what job you need to do in your future. I think right now, what's most important for you and for um, you know your near and long-term future, really, as you go through elementary school and eventually you get to high school and then through college. I think first of all, you need to listen to your parents and you need to listen to your teachers. They have a lot to teach you, and it's really important for you to listen to people who have a lot of experience and know a lot about many different careers. And you need to learn as much as you can. So read as many books as you can, talk to as many people as you can, and ask questions, ask people questions. That's going to be the best way for you to learn about different careers, learn about different jobs, and most importantly, learn about what really interests you the most, right? Because not everybody is the same. And then the last thing that you should do is just work hard, right? That makes sense. Um, Work hard in school. Try to do as well as you can in school. Try to uh, get good grades. Do all of your homework. Do what your teachers tell you to do. And then when you're old enough to start working, maybe when you get to high school, um, and you get your first job, whether it's at McDonald's or wherever else, you might get a job. Well, work as hard as possible there. Try to do a good job because it's important to really establish a good work ethic, so that when you eventually get to the career and the job that you really want to do, that you know how to get there, and you'll work as hard as possible to do a good job. So that's all I really have to share with you for this career day. And I hope to see you next year in person, so that you can ask me as many questions as you like. Goodbye, Glen Oak students.